What's up, Footballer Nation? Carson here, your Cardsaholic and your Footballers Anonymous editor, coming at you. This episode is going to be our last catch-up episode. It covers weeks 12, 13, and 14 of the NFL and college football. Very important to understand that. It's a bit of a longer episode because it covers that much time, but stay tuned because over the next few days, our week 15 episode is going to be covered, and yeah, then we'll be well on our way to the playoffs. Exciting stuff to come. Thank you so much for listening, and enjoy. Hello, Footballer Nation, and welcome to the greatest rising podcast in football. My name is Carson, and I am a tankaholic.
Oh,
best guy. My name is Alex, and I'm a Billsaholic.
and I'm Ian, and I'm a Bearsaholic.
To hear more about the past couple weeks in the NFL, make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the episode. But first, let's go ahead and roll that intro. Hello, Footballer Nation, and welcome to Footballers Anonymous, the greatest rising podcast in football. Coming at you after a couple weeks off, but we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and here to talk some football. Yay!
So why are you wearing a Jets jersey?
Oh, I'm wearing a Jets jersey because I really want the Jets to win over the next couple weeks so that our draft pick gets a little better. So we can draft a very specific someone who happens to be a flippin' champ. His words, by the way, a flippin' champ.
Well, that's how you know he does not live in the state of Arizona.
No, but he will. And he will never be a flippin' champ ever again. But it's okay, because we still love him. We're going to open up this week with... We asked you to ask us questions, and we answered them. This week, we have one question, and it is from Michael Ruby. And it asks... Don't we love Drake May? The answer, absolutely. We love Drake May.
Who's we?
We all love Drake May.
Who is we? I don't know who we is.
We. He is French.
Unfortunately, Drake May is going to lose this weekend.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one, Chief.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Is it?
We're not getting swept. I put money on that.
So my fantasy team is doing amazing. I'm operating in it's a super flex league, which means I have a flex spot which I can put anybody in, including a quarterback. And I'm not putting a quarterback in that slot. The past 3 weeks, I have put Darnell Mooney in that spot, and I want to combine 12-0 in those three. In the past 6 weeks, I want to combine 12-0, and 3 of those weeks with Darnell Mooney in my super flex spot. I secured the 1 seed in the league this week, and now I have a first round bye, so I don't have to worry about anything this week. I picked up Phillip Rivers to potentially start in the playoffs. And that's your fantasy update, folks. Stay tuned for more.
That's crazy work, dude.
Dude, JSN, Bijan Robinson, and Trey McBride are just overpowered.
Shout out Michael Wilson for carrying me to the playoffs.
I was going to see if I could snipe him in my league. It's a 14-person league, so somebody already had him.
Dude, I got him in a 20-person league. I just had him. I was like, why not?
20?
20. Yes, I'm in a 20-person league. I am the 3 seed in this 20-person league. Very proud of that. I went 10-4.
I'm in a 14-man league, but I have Drake May, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh.
My draft was insane. I also have DK Metcalf. Chase Brown has been very solid. I have Hunter Henry. He's been one of the better tight ends. Jalen Warren's been solid. I have the Bears defense. I have
My league
on the bench.
I do have some good names. I have Kyle Monangai on this team. He's been solid. Brenton Strange has gotten back from injury. He's been super good since he got back from injury. And also, shout out Jacoby Myers. Anyone who started listening to podcasts has heard me rant about him early on when he was on the Raiders. And then once he got traded, I talked a lot about that. He has been performing since he got traded. And I am so happy about that.
Brian Thomas Jr. who?
Exactly. Jacoby Myers is the GOAT. Hey, in the past 4 weeks, he's gone 11, 15, 21, and 14 in my league. Pretty solid numbers.
Do I pick up?
Also just waiting for Drake London to get healthy again.
I gotta pick up the Eagles defense, but I'm looking at this now. I'm picking up the Eagles defense, but do I start the Eagles defense against Vegas or the? No, I start the Eagles defense against Vegas over the Bears defense against the Browns because Shadur Sanders.
Bro, shout out.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The Browns, no, hold on. First of all, I'm going to the Bears game, so you better pray they get 3 interceptions. Right? Yes, that's right, guys. I'm going to be your Bears Hawk is going to be at the Bears Brown games at Soldier Field this Friday, December 4, or this Saturday, Sunday, December 14th.
We play football on Sundays.
Yeah, correct. We play football on Sundays. So you guys, you better. The Bears defense could do a great job of punishing a rookie making rookie mistakes. Just saying.
Yeah, but this isn't just any rookie.
This rookie is legendary.
Sure. Sure, but if I promise you, if the Bears do not get 3 interceptions in this game, I will crash out.
But he's
Alex,
legendary.
Alex, Alex, start the Bears defense, and if they don't get 3 interceptions, you can stab me in the chest 4 times.
All right, I'm doing it. So one of our bets is $20. One of them is stabbing in the chest 4 times.
No, you should have it be so you. Oh, that works too. I was gonna say you should let him stab you once for every interception they don't get. So
Nah,
if there's 2 picks,
just 4.
just one stab.
Nah, 4 straight up stabs.
But if Caleb
Yeah,
Williams
we're doing
throws
4.
a pick and
Hey, it's a win-win for Alex. Either he gets to stab me 4 times, or the Bears defense gets a bunch of fantasy points.
Hey, if Caleb Williams throws a pick, that's okay too, because that means there's more chances for the Bears defense to get picks back. So doing a Chargers Eagles game.
I do want to shout out Colston Loveland for finally doing stuff. I really put too much faith in him at the beginning of the year. But ever since that Cincinnati game, he's actually put up numbers. Thank you, Colston Loveland. The only other
You're
tight
welcome.
end on my team was Kyle Pitts
Oh, why is he on your team?
because he was a UDFA and Colston Loveland wasn't doing anything.
You could have taken any other tight end.
It's a 20-person league. There's no
That's where
other
you take. That's where you take just a backup and pray that this starter gets injured.
I mean,
You could have taken the Lions
that was
backup.
Colston Loveland. That was Colston Loveland, though.
Exactly. You should have done. Well, Kyle Pitts is an atrocious pickup.
I could have
almost can't reach
taken.
for that.
I could have. I could have taken Taysom Hill.
That would have been a much better. Well, not really. He hasn't really been doing much for fantasy, but would have been better than Kyle Pitts.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in Footballers Anonymous history, Footballers Anonymous is going to win the comment of the week. Not because there weren't other candidates, but because this one was so awesome, it had to be included. For context, Carson released a YouTube short that was highlighting how BYU missed the college football playoffs, which we'll probably get into later. One of the comments said BYU blows, and our comment of the week from Footballers Anonymous is your mom blows. I think that's pretty valid. That's valid for comment of the week.
Shout out our media team for that clapback.
Shout out our media team, bro. Way to defend our honor.
One comment of the week for the media team.
Yeah. Thank you, media team. We love you guys.
Media team recognition.
Oh boy. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time for the 2024 fan-voted favorite segment of Footballers Anonymous, Carson's College Knowledge. And we've missed a lot of weeks, and a whole lot of crazy stuff has happened. So sit down. We're going to talk about it. First off, shout out Josh Allen, because Wyoming officially retired his number a few weeks ago. It was a nice little game. He came back home. It was a good little thing. Blah, 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 blah. But who cares, because a million other things happened this week. North Texas head coach Eric Morris will be the next head coach at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State had a horrible season. But North Texas's head coach has done lots of great things there. So we're very excited to see that. A couple of weeks ago, Brian Kelly was officially informed in writing that he had been terminated as the LSU head coach without any cause. They tried to find a way not to pay his buyout, but obviously that didn't work. So LSU now owes the man $54 million. And why did they fire Brian Kelly? Well, they hired one Lane Kiffin, who is now the official head coach at LSU.
Also because Brian Kelly's son sucks at football and he's only playing at LSU because of his father.
This is true. This is objectively true. Forgot about that. Not only is he leaving Ole Miss before the playoffs, but he also tried to just bring all of their staff and a bunch of players with him when he left, and didn't even meet face to face with the players to talk before he left. Just kind of dipped. Since him leaving, though, the situation got so much worse. We learned that the legendary Juice Kiffin, his dog, who everyone loves, is not even his. Okay? It was a PR stunt. Juice Kiffin is not really a Kiffin. It's just Juice. Genuinely insane. On his way to the airport, several students tried to run him off the road on his way there. And a whole bunch of them were at the airport to boo him as well. So yeah, they made him public enemy number one. They threw his clothes onto the street before he left. A lot of them exposed old messages that he allegedly sent to students.
There's nothing alleged about it.
It's very real, ladies and gentlemen.
Lane Kiffin was hitting on the women in classes.
Oh, yes, he
On
was.
Instagram and Snapchat.
Everywhere. It was crazy. So he is public enemy number one. By the way, LSU plays at Ole Miss next year. So it's gonna be a fun game. Shout out. No, actually, no shout out for Lane Kiffin. He doesn't deserve a shout. Meanwhile, Penn State is slowly going to shambles. Their head coaching disaster nearly ended in ruin when every single candidate was taken off the board one by one. As of now, Kurt Cignetti was extended at Indiana. Mike Elko was extended at A&M. Eli Drinkwitz was extended at Missouri. Clark Lea extended at Vandy. Jeff Brom is staying at Louisville. Bob Chesney was hired at UCLA. And now BYU's Kalani Sitake is staying at BYU. All of these happened either during or as a direct result of Penn State's coaching search. Now, Kalani Sitake is the one I actually want to talk about for a minute because they got really close to hiring BYU's Kalani Sitake. Obviously, great head coach ever since he came to BYU. They reached out to him for the job, and he was actually really close to taking it. But as soon as news of this got out, not only did the entire Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints get involved, but also BYU fan and co-founder of Crumble Cookies decided to step in. He pretty much single-handedly donated enough money to the school to extend Kalani Sitake so that he also did not go to Penn State. Meanwhile, Penn State's old head coach, James Franklin, has turned Virginia Tech into a top 25 recruiting class. Before his arrival, Virginia Tech sat at 126th in recruiting, but now they've shot up to number 22, which is jumping more than 100 spots. They've flipped more than 10 Penn State blue chips, and now on National Signing Day, by the way, Penn State only signed 2 recruits, 2 blue chips, okay? They have fallen to rank 155 in the rankings underneath schools like Weber State and Harvard. Harvard.
Listen, Harvard gets all the smart students that'll study film.
This is true. They will study film.
If they have time
They
to.
will not make film.
They'll figure it out. They're hungry.
Eventually, they did find their head coach in Matt Campbell, who I'm not gonna lie, low key, not a horrible hire, Matt Campbell. But the damage is already done. Recruiting is pretty much coming to a conclusion. They're kind of cooked. Meanwhile, back at Virginia Tech, great things happening at Virginia Tech. James Franklin has officially hired former Virginia Tech head coach Brent Pry as his defensive coordinator. So we literally just are Penn State 10 years ago. Obviously, Virginia Tech hired Brent Pry from Penn State when he was their defensive coordinator, and he led one of the best defenses in the country. So I guess James Franklin and Brent Pry are really tight. So we're just running it back. Shout out Virginia Tech. Penn State 2, Electric Boogaloo. JMU, another school in Virginia, they hired Billy Napier to be their new head coach. But unlike the weird Lane Kiffin situation, Bob Chesney is actually going to remain and coach them through their run of the playoffs before he eventually goes to UCLA where he was hired. So shout out him. Michigan head coach Sharon Moore today was fired. The school had been investigating a situation inside the building for the past few weeks, but Biff Poggi, I think that's how you say his name, is their interim head coach now. He had a very, very inappropriate relationship with some of his staff. It led to someone getting pregnant. So, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, we're gonna refer to Biff Poggi as Biff Poggers.
I guess that's what happens when you lose to Ohio State for the first time in like 1,000-something days.
Yes, I mean, desperate times.
1,641.
Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, it was something like that. They had lost their last 4.
Yeah, I don't want to do the
one
math.
It just says over 1,000 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of days.
I know they said it on the broadcast, but that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, I guess if people keep looking at that, championship weekend was this weekend. It was a very exciting weekend going through some of the biggest championship. We had the American Championship, where unfortunately...
So it was 2,191 days.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what happens when you lose it this week. Oh my gosh, I just popped.
Yeah, it was over 2,000 days, actually. So
Okay, that would do it. That would cause someone to snap, I think. Yeah, right. Moving on. So this was championship weekend. We had a lot of exciting championships happening. In the American Conference, we had number 24 North Texas coming into number 20 Tulane. North Texas did lose this game 34-21, and Tulane actually made the playoffs. We here at Footballers Anonymous are very big North Texas fans, by the way, so this is very sad. I'm also a Tulane hater, so it's like a little double sad, but it's okay. In the Sun Belt Conference Championship, hosted at James Madison University, Troy came in and lost to number 25 JMU 31-14. JMU now being in playoff contention because of it. Conference USA Championship, Kennesaw State beat Jacksonville State 19-15. It was definitely an interesting game, I guess. Mountain West Championship, UNLV lost to Boise State 38-21. This wasn't really a surprise to anyone. In the championship of the MACtion, Miami, Ohio lost to Western Michigan 13-23. Moving to our Power 4 championships, the Big 12 championship, number 11 BYU and an injured Bear Bachmeier did lose to number 4 Texas Tech 7-34. BYU being the second team out of the playoffs because of this, and Texas Tech securing their 4 seed. Yeah, Alex, what are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts on that, Alex?
What are my thoughts on what?
On Texas Tech. Yeah.
Oh, Texas Tech beating BYU. I don't like Texas Tech because they had Patrick Mahomes, but I'm happy for them that they won this game.
Cool, man. Hey, shout out Jacob Rodriguez. You low-key did get snubbed out of the Heisman contention. Very sorry to Texas Tech fans everywhere. Meanwhile, in Charlotte, the ACC Championship, Duke upsets number 17 UVA in overtime 27-20. This knocks UVA out of the playoffs and brings JMU into the playoffs. So, shout out UVA. And low-key shout out Duke. I love you for that, guys. The SEC Championship, number 3 Georgia beat number 9 Bama 28-7. Both of these teams still did make the playoffs, though, so you will be seeing more of them. One of them probably shouldn't have, but they're there anyways, so I guess they get another redemption round. But in the best game this week, the Big Ten Championship, number 2 Indiana upset number 1 Ohio State 13-10. Both teams will make the playoffs as the 1 and 2 seed, and Indiana, they're flipping champs.
So is Indiana the 1 seed because they won this game, or is Ohio State?
Yes, Indiana's the 1 seed now. Okay. Indiana is the 1 seed.
So now Ohio State has an underdog story. Got it.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. No, I don't think you can say Indiana's not the underdog story.
Well, they're the 1 seed, so obviously they're not.
No, they I don't even know what kind of NFL. Low key, this is like if next year the Cardinals got the 1 seed and then won the Super Bowl and then won 4 Super Bowls. Like Indiana is so bad, just so bad until now. So we don't have any games coming up this week. We will have some more next weekend, and so we'll be talking more about those then. But again, just like last year, if you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and all those places, I will be posting my postseason predictions every week, and I'll give you my first look at national champion. Who could it be? I don't know. A couple other fun little pieces of news. Oh yeah, Miami did make the playoff, I guess, but they're gonna get cooked by A&M. I'll spoil that one for you. But it's okay. Obviously, speaking of Miami, the big question coming into the Alex, put that U down. The big question coming into this playoff bracket announcement was, would Notre Dame make the playoffs? The answer, no. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am happy Miami takes the spot over Notre Dame because Miami doesn't deserve it at all, but Notre Dame is infinitely less deserving of it than Miami. So, shout out. Notre Dame fans and Notre Dame as a program are so salty about this that they have officially declined all bowl game invitations. They would have been the first, they are the first team out, which means they would have played in the Pop-Tart Bowl against BYU, which would have been awesome. However, they did not. So BYU will now be playing Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to share the good word because, ladies and gentlemen, college football fans all around the world are so fed up with Notre Dame, thinking they can stick it to ESPN, thinking they can lower all the watcher ratings. Says, oh, you're not going to have our big Notre Dame name in your biggest bowl game. Ooh, isn't that so cool? Well, first off, one, ESPN gets paid the same amount regardless, so it doesn't matter. But two, because people are so pissed off at Notre Dame being so stupid, there is a movement starting, ladies and gentlemen. It is our movement to make the Pop-Tart Bowl the most played bowl game ever. If you have a computer, if you have a phone, if you have a TV, we are turning on the Pop-Tart Bowl everywhere. We will make BYU versus Georgia Tech the most watched college football game in history, purely despite Notre Dame.
This is an interesting thing for Carson here because on one hand, BYU would be part of it, but on the other hand, Georgia Tech would be part of it.
I mean, I would be okay with it. I hate Notre Dame, dude.
Very interesting.
I think this is a great game. I'm actually really excited for the Pop-Tart Bowl, and unlike Notre Dame, BYU is also enthusiastic about the Pop-Tart Bowl because they're a normal football team and a normal program. I don't even know. So
not only that, I think it's also really funny that Miami was the one in the Pop-Tart Bowl last year.
This is true.
They played in the Pop-Tart Bowl,
Miami
unlike some teams.
This is true. Miami did play in the Pop-Tart Bowl last year when they were the first team out. They were the first team out of the playoffs last year, and they played in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Now, granted, they rested a couple starters and eventually kind of choked the game because Cam Ward didn't want to play anymore, but they played. Like, that's what happens in most bowl games. But this one should be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, we will be sending out more information and whatnot and making this more known closer to when it happens, but we are all sticking it to Notre Dame and telling them, join a conference, you freaking bums, or stop complaining when you don't make the playoffs. Yay! That's all for your NFL or for your FBS news, ladies and gentlemen. But we have one piece of FCS news in case you couldn't see Ian.
Hey, Carson, may I take this one away?
Oh, of course.
All right, so the FCS playoffs have started, and for those of you who follow FCS, the past, since, I don't know, 2014 maybe, North Dakota State University has been the prevalent FCS team, I think winning 10 championships in that time. Now, a lot of you guys know that I am an Illinois State Redbirds fan. I went there last year. And this year, to start the playoffs, well, not to start the playoffs, I think this was the second week,
round, yeah.
The unranked Illinois State University Redbirds were going against the number one ranked North Dakota State Bison. I think they're the Bison. They were going into this game as 23.5-point underdogs. Unranked ISU. The starting quarterback, Tommy Rittenhouse, threw 5 interceptions in this game. All right. With a minute 44 left to go in the game, I believe it was maybe no 2 minutes 44 sec. They were down 28-14. Illinois State won 29-28. In the final 2.5 minutes of the game, Illinois State rallied, put up 13 unanswered points, and then with the game on the line, went for a two and walked away 1 point victors.
It
It
was
was
cinema.
peak cinema. It was pure cinema from start to finish. Illinois State walked in. Shout out Kirk Cousins. They walk in your trap, take over your trap. That's what they did in North Dakota State University. And so Illinois State will be advancing to face UC Davis in the third round. Should be a victory there as well. Stay
Heard
tuned.
that heard that the ISC Redbirds were slated to play against Notre Dame, and Notre Dame backed out.
That's right. They backed out of the FCF playoffs too.
Yeah, no, they're not good enough for it.
They saw what ISU did to North Dakota State. They said,
Nah.
nah.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to an end of Carson's college knowledge. Before we break for some NFL news, we're going to cut to an ad.
Mayotivations with Will Levis.
It's time for our merch ad read, but first we need to address some breaking news.
Oh boy, here we go.
Notre Dame has officially backed out of all bowl games this year.
All of them. Every single one.
You know why? Because they're salty. They didn't make the college football playoff.
They took their ball and went home. Actually, they didn't even take the ball. They just went home.
If we can't play in the playoff, we're not playing at all. Real mature, Notre Dame. Real mature.
You know who doesn't quit when things get tough? Mitchell David Trubisky, the greatest quarterback to ever play football.
Mitch would never back out of a bowl game. He'd show up to the Gasparilla Bowl and with a smile on his face and throw for easily 300 yards.
Notre Dame could never do that.
Speaking of things that don't quit, unlike Notre Dame, our brand new merch collection just launched.
Ooh, that's a smooth transition.
Thank you. This week we officially dropped Choking Hazard, our first ever collection available now at footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com.
Choking hazard. Kind of like how Notre Dame chokes in big games and then refuses to play in smaller ones.
Exactly like that. What's in the collection?
First up, we got the Carson War flashback shirts. It's got Carson staring into the void, contemplating every bad Cardinals decision ever made, which, let's be honest, is a long list.
At least I show up every week. I don't back out of games because I'm sad.
The Cardinals could go 0-17, and Carson would still be watching every snap.
It's called commitment, Notre Dame. Look it up.
Then we've got the Mr. Electric t-shirt, a tribute to our biggest fan, Dylan, who blessed Alex with that incredible nickname.
Shout out Dylan, the real MVP. Unlike Notre Dame's team, who apparently aren't even MVPs anymore.
Speaking of MVP,
Mitchell
Trubisky.
The man, the myth, the legend. Would Mitch back out of a bowl game? Absolutely not.
Mitch would play in a bowl game in a parking lot if they asked him to.
What's the third shirt?
The Ian Watkins wide receiver 1 shirt, a tribute to a player who doesn't exist but has more heart than Notre Dame's entire athletic department.
Ian Watkins would never back out of a bowl game.
Ian Watkins would play in the quick lane bowl with a broken leg and still catch a touchdown.
Unlike Notre Dame, who saw they got snubbed and said, you know what, we're going home.
We're too good for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Are you, though? Are you?
You can grab all 3 of these shirts right now at footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com. That's footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com.
And unlike Notre Dame's bowl game participation, which is like ordering 3 long sleeve shirts, these shirts will actually show up when you order them, because ordering off our merch store is like the same thing as driving a Ford F-150. At least that's what they say in those ads. Our ads actually tell the truth, though. Those ads, I'm not sure. I haven't really tested that. But these ads, they tell the truth.
Oh, that's good.
So, we need to talk about TikTok.
We are so close to 100 followers. Once we hit that milestone, we'll be making our very own Footballers Anonymous Christmas album. And in fact, if we want to clarify real quick,
Did we hit it?
we are at
98.
98.
Yeah, because that's so weird. Because when I looked it up, it said 99, and so I was like, "Oh, let me hit follow on my other
Well,
account."
we're either at 98 or 99, so we just need one or two more people to follow.
And there will be a matching Christmas collection in the merch store.
You know what song won't be on the album? Notre Dame's Bowl Game Blues.
All I want for Christmas is to not be embarrassed in a mid-tier bowl game.
Jingle bells,
You're salty.
jingle bells, we're going home early. We're salty.
Okay, we need to wrap this up before we get sued, guys.
Right, footballsnowns.shop.fourthwall.com. Get those choking hazard collection.
Follow us on TikTok so we can make that Christmas album.
And remember, when life gets tough, don't be like Notre Dame. Be like Mitchell David Trubisky. Show up, play hard, and throw touchdowns.
The GOAT would never quit on a bowl game.
Unlike some teams we could mention.
We're not naming names.
But it rhymes with floater lamb.
All right. Starting off.
I mean, the Eagles have, if we're talking about the Eagles, they have not been flying in their past 3 games. They've lost their last 3 games, starting off with a 21-0 lead against the Cowboys, choked away in the second half.
Lost to the Bears on Black Friday.
And they lost to future NFL MVP James P. Sullivan on Monsters Fun Day. Dude, where were you during the James P. Sullivan legacy game, bro?
Listen,
He had 4 interceptions against Jalen Hurts.
at the same time, Jalen Hurts was so intimidated by James P. Sullivan. He became the first ever quarterback to turn the ball over twice in one play. Which for people who know fantasy, that was like -4 fantasy points on one play.
Bro,
Yeah, ridiculous.
do you know how confusing, because I was unironically for the memes, I watched the first half of this game, like just on the Straight Up Monsters Inc. broadcast. Do you know how confusing this play looked? Like, because of course it was Sully who intercepted the ball, and then the ball just kind of drops, and it looks like it goes back. Like, I was so confused. I didn't know what was happening. But man, shout out Jalen Hurts. Not gonna lie.
Ball was intercepted. Then it was fumbled. Jalen Hurts recovered the fumble and then fumbled. And then that fumble was recovered by the Chargers. So
By Sully,
2
of course.
turnovers counted for the Chargers defense.
yes,
Yes.
it was 2 turnovers in favor of the Chargers and 2 turnovers against Jalen Hurts. So he had an interception and a fumble lost on that play.
That's crazy.
Shout out the fact that the 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks this week, by the way, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, combined for 7 turnovers and no touchdowns this week.
But quarterbacks that didn't look that bad. Shador Sanders. He's this week, especially against the Titans, he looked very good. He finally was given this starting position. He played really well again against the Titans. He had 4 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 on the ground. And now he's named the starter for the rest of the season, despite the greatest football player in history, Deshaun Watson, returning to practice.
You mean Deshaun Watkins?
You're right, guys. My ancestor.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Shador Loki looked really good. If it wasn't for Tony Pollard being in this game, Cleveland should win. Also, shout out Coach Stefanski, by the way, for after Shador had one of the greatest games you've seen from a Browns quarterback in a hot second. When it comes down to the 2-point conversion you need to win the game, you take it out of Shador's hands.
He also said in the press conference that it was his decision.
Mm-hmm. And also
shout
out Shador. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first, because
I was just going to say also, shout out Shador for being really mature about all of it in his press conferences. His Colorado ones used to not be super great, but you know what? He's really growing up and really, really maturing, and I gotta respect the kid for that. He's looking pretty good.
I'm fanboying Shador because this guy's
fucking a little bit. We love Shador.
Listen, I'm still kind of on the fence, especially with him going into Chicago this week. I would love for him to play miserably, but I think Shador could have a decent season, or not this season. I think he could have a decent career. I don't know if it will be in Cleveland, because I would like to highlight another player. Myles Garrett has hit 20 sacks on the season, and he has 4 games to log 3 more, which would make him have the most in a single season. And I'm gonna be honest, with the Browns going into Chicago, there is a solid chance that he does end up getting more, two or three like on Caleb Williams. Not because I think our O line is bad or Caleb Williams can't dodge him, just because it's Myles Garrett. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's Myles Garrett. We'll probably be double teaming him a lot. I mean, we did a very good job about shutting down Micah Parsons. Caleb Williams, there was a little bit of holding, but that's been the case all season for Micah. It was only like two plays that I saw. And then Caleb Williams is just a magician in the backfield. So there's a chance he doesn't, but I think it's almost a lock that Myles Garrett gets more than three sacks throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, for sure.
So you would think that the Browns have been having a good season with Myles Garrett being 7 sacks above the guy in second, and Shador coming in and making a splash with his first couple starts. No,
I'm kind of
they're not
thinking,
though.
I think over the next 2 weeks, he could very easily combine for over 10 sacks over the next 2 weeks.
10.
10. Yeah, easily 10 sacks over the next 2 weeks.
Who's he? Oh, that's right. They play the Cardinals in 2 weeks.
Oh, no, not the Cardinals.
Oh wait, no, they play the Cardinals in 3 weeks then.
No, they don't play the Cardinals
He's
this
just
year.
saying it because they played the Bills and the Bears.
They play the Bills and the Bears back to back, and I can easily see him combine for 10 sacks over those 2 weeks.
Wait, they don't play the Cardinals. I'm
They don't
I'm
play the
geeking.
Cardinals.
I'm geeking. My fault.
They already
I
played
thought
the
they
49ers, which was their one NFC West game.
No, they're not getting 10.
Yeah, but easily. Easily. Dude, I don't think either of those QBs can move in the backfield at all.
Right.
All right. Well,
Listen,
okay.
all I'm saying is if Myles Garrett played 18 weeks against Mitchell David Trubisky, he would get 0 sacks.
Well, of course. So we obviously haven't talked for a hot second since really before Thanksgiving. But on Thanksgiving, Joe Burrow did make his return for the Bengals, and he's looking pretty good for that offense.
Couldn't be
Their
Buffalo.
defense. One game. Joe Burrow came back, and in his first game back, the defense said, "Hey, this is our time now. We got Burrow back. It was time for us to log a playoff push." Looked really good against the Ravens on Thanksgiving, and then just completely stopped playing good. This week they played the Bills. Really should have walked out with a win, but their defense just could not do crap.
I mean, Joe
Oh,
Burrow.
and the fact that Joe Burrow threw 2 picks on like back-to-back plays, and one of them was the pick six.
I'm gonna
That was
defend
also a problem.
those,
That's
say
it.
that they weren't
Doesn't
really
help.
on him, but yes,
Yeah.
he did do that. At least the first one especially wasn't on him. That just kind of came out of nowhere. But yeah, no, the defense really, really crapped the bed there and couldn't finish the game. And Bill's offense looked super good, which is good. And Bill's defense,
Now that being said, though, Bengals could still make the playoffs.
they could still make the play. Dude, are we just
They could
gonna
still make
get next year again or last year again, where they're making their end of season push?
Well, no, because this one to make the playoffs this year, it would require them to win the division,
Oh,
which they are still in contention for.
they are.
They would have to win. They would have to win the division with an 8-9 record.
The Steelers and the Ravens haven't looked super impressive at all.
Oh.
Shout out the Ravens, DeAndre Hopkins. Love DeAndre Hopkins. He just hit 1,000 career receptions. Super great for him and super cool to see that he's still kind of involved in the Baltimore offense. And the Ravens did extend Mark Andrews for 3 years, which, not gonna lie, I don't really know how I feel about that one. It's kind of a big commitment. They're not paying him a whole ton, but especially when you've got Isaiah Likely on the team, I don't really see Isaiah Likely staying with them at that point. So
No, I completely agree. I think without Mark Andrews has been the last 2 years or so, especially with the horrible drop at the end of the playoffs last year, and Isaiah Likely being so good, so solid. It was 3 year, 39 million is kind of a interesting decision.
now I will say this year the roles have been reversed, and Isaiah Likely has been dropping those pretty key passes, and Mark Andrews has played pretty well. But I mean, how old is Mark Andrews? Like,
Oh, he's in his mid-30s.
he's
probably.
30. I don't know.
33?
I could see him play until 33, but I think he's already
30,
starting to regress a little bit.
Only 30?
Yeah.
he's 30.
So
I was just thinking the same thing, Carson.
Dang, I said mid-30s. I
That's how you typed that
overshot
out. I was thinking the exact same thing.
yeah, nice. Yeah, I can see it, but I still think by doing this you're basically giving up on Isaiah Likely, which I don't particularly like. I don't know. We'll see.
Frank Ragnow said he was coming out of retirement for the Lions, and then he decided he wasn't.
he didn't pass a physical or something like that.
Yeah.
I just remember Lions fans got super excited about it over Thanksgiving. They were like, yeah, but Frank Ragnow's coming back. And then, oops, LOL, JK.
Never mind.
Never mind.
But in some good news, the Kansas City Chiefs, as of this week, lost to the Houston Texans to fall to a record of 6-7. And they could be eliminated from the playoffs this week. This week, the Chiefs, with a 6-7 record, could be eliminated from the playoffs. It is possible. It is possible to be the first time since, what was it, 2014?
I believe.
Oh, dude, shout out typing.
2014, yes. First time since 2014 the Chiefs have not made playoffs.
Correct. And that they finished that year with a 9-7 record and snuck in. So, oh no, they weren't in the place with a 9-7 record.
Right.
And they could have a worse record this year. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're losing out. They're losing out.
Who do they play?
They faced the Chargers this week. Then they faced the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Then they faced the Broncos and the Raiders. They're losing out, guys.
Oh, they're losing out. Oh, the Broncos game might be winnable.
Yeah, I almost guarantee you. I almost guarantee the Titans are going to beat the Chiefs.
Okay,
No,
that's-
the
that's
Titans.
a little-
Oh wait,
No,
I
no,
can't
no,
even.
trust-
I can't even say
trust.
that about the
It's
Titans.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. The Titans are not going to win another game, but they're just going to find a way to beat the Chiefs.
Somehow. In more great news, Jackson Dart has returned for the Giants, and he's still playing all by himself out there, all by himself. Poor guy. Even Younghoe Koo is messing things up. He took a sack this week. Fun fact. Because he kicked the grass instead of the ball. So you have to go look up the clip. I'll put it on screen right now if you're watching. But you just have to go look up the Younghoe Koo kick. It's straight out of like Charlie Brown, bro. It's so funny. The ball just doesn't move, so they got to pick it up, and then they get tackled, and it counts as a sack. It was wonderful. I'm so sorry to Giants fans, but at least you have a franchise QB, and maybe Malik Neighbors next year.
And Cam Scatterboo.
Yeah. Did you see him this week try to make his chat jump off sides?
I did not see that. No.
It was pretty special. We're talking. He had his full helmet on and everything, and he was right up here at the camera, hitting that. It's hot! It's hot! Somebody jump off sides! Like full. Yeah, it was good time. In other news.
Hey, Carson, you want to take this one because you're a Jetsaholic this week?
Yes, I will. As a Jetsaholic, breaking news: the Jets are, quote, trying to get Mahomes. According to a lot of sources on the internet, it is believed that this offseason the Jets could be making big moves for Patrick Mahomes. I am not joking. This is a real thing of fake news that's going around quite frequently.
The trade deadline is passed.
That's why I said this offseason.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I thought you were just saying like currently they were trying to make big moves.
In more news, I'll take this one too since it's my two boys here. The Vikings are one of the only teams.
What do you mean your two boys?
Max.
We know JJ McCarthy, but why are you claiming a Minnesota
I've always claimed Max,
Golden
bro.
Gopher?
Let
Have
me,
you? Okay.
let me.
Yeah, we talk about it so much.
Yeah, didn't I texted you guys like at the start of the game. I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited.
You did, that's true. I knew that beforehand because I forgot why. Because
I can provide explanation.
my uncle is a Vikings fan, and he was talking about it when the Thanksgiving games were on during Thanksgiving. I was like, "Oh, Max Brosmer, interesting." And then I took the Vikings, and that was really stupid.
Yes, it was. So the Vikings are one of the first teams this century to get shut out and then shut out their opponent the next week. JJ McCarthy and Max Brosmer before this had back-to-back games of worse passer ratings than spiking the ball on every play with a 34.2 and a 3.8. So shout out to them. But yeah, Max Brosmer, quarterback out of Minnesota, I fell in love with this guy way back in December of last year in Charlotte, North Carolina, in US Bank Stadium, watching the elite QB matchup of Max Brosmer versus Colin Schlee in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Let me tell you, electric. Sparks, man. Fireworks, even. Incredible. Big Max Brosmer fan. Yeah. And he had one of the funniest plays I've ever seen. It was beautiful. Thank you, Max Brosmer. And then my actual boy, JJ McCarthy, actually played a really good game against a really crippled Commanders team. Shut them out. So that was, great for the Vikings, I guess. They also waived Adam Thielen a few weeks ago, and then he signed with the Steelers. But it's been a weird few weeks.
The Carolina Panthers, one of my kind of teams that I've been kind of pushing to be a good team. Me and behind the string, pulling the strings in the organization. Like I am the reason the Panthers are winning games. Anyway, they beat the Rams because of me. And after the game, Dave Canales said, "We've seen the best Rams football, but y'all haven't seen our best football." That is a bar. That is a bar. I'd also like to mention that Bryce Young has the most fourth quarter comebacks of any quarterback since he joined the league. I'm pretty sure he's at 11 now. He had one against the Rams. I thought it was
Caleb Williams. Doesn't Caleb Williams have like
Caleb has the
10?
most this season.
Okay, got it.
Caleb has the most this season. I think since 2023, Bryce Young has the most.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, interesting.
Because Bryce Young has got that dog in him.
Yeah. We had a lot of Week 13 was a very exciting week. Puka Nacua, Brock Bowers, and Traylon Burks all had catch of the week material, really catch of the year material. That same week. It was a pretty exciting week. You should go look those up and watch them.
I'm taking the Burks catch.
I was gonna say pretty easily taking the Traylon Burks catch. That was just.
I was watching this game live when it happened, and they just kept replaying the OBJ catch. That's how you know a catch is elite, when the broadcast is constantly replaying that catch and the OBJ catch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely taking the Burks catch.
Absolutely.
I was just like Traylon Burks. I don't know why. Also in Week 13, after the Black Friday win over the Eagles, Bears go into the locker room, hyped. Ben Johnson goes shirtless again, which means that a hot dog joint in Chicago gave out free hot dogs. Also, it is worth mentioning that during the celebrations, there were pictures of a player in the background of the Bears locker room with their hand in the ceiling. That player turned out to be Rome Odunze, who had jumped up in celebration and punched a hole in the ceiling, injuring his hand. And for different reasons, he ended up not playing against Green Bay in Week 14. But he's hopefully going to be back for the Cleveland Browns game.
And we're the Cleveland
Shout out to Ben Johnson. Truly a culture change in that locker room. And shout out to CJ Gardner-Johnson too, by the way. I didn't really get to talk about him like the past 2 weeks, but he's been a dog. The Bears did not lose. The Bears went 5-0 in November, by the way. No lose November hit hard for Chicago.
The Bills.
You ain't winning unless you're hitting no win November, bro. We did win in November, so we couldn't even do that right. It's okay.
Who'd y'all beat?
The Cowboys.
That was in November. I didn't even realize. The Buffalo Bills. We're gonna talk about them for a little bit. We ran the same play 29 times against the Steelers. It was just a run to the outside, hitting the edge. Like it wasn't like a full outside run, but like it was just like a drag the offensive lineman and then just run it. And we ran it 29 times against them and had success pretty much every single time we ran it. The only thing we really did was flip the play. A couple times, like in Madden when you hit the flip play button, it's just like, yeah, we ran that play 29 times. TJ Watt was very upset about that and said it never in his career had he seen something like that work. Cam Hayward was being a little baby in that game too. Josh Allen apparently kneed him in the stomach, and if you look at the replay, that didn't happen. Cam Hayward was just being a little baby about it and complained after the game. Ridiculous. Like, Josh Allen clearly doesn't. Like, Josh Allen loved the banter, but, like, bro didn't do anything. And Cam Hayward's just like, oh, I don't know why I don't get protection. The quarterback does. Like, you were sitting on top of him, and then he, like, got up, and then bro said he kneed him in the stomach. Like, what are we doing? The Bills also signed Brandon Cooks, so another random addition to our locker room, our receiver room. and it snowed in the
Yeah.
Bengals game. That was another thing that people were talking about a lot. Jameis Winston was on the Fox broadcast talking about how much he loves the snow because he was in the what do you call it, the intermission table. He was at the intermission table, like with all the people that talk pregame, postgame, and at halftime. He did a nice job.
He just loves snow, unlike Pete Prisco. Unlike Pete Prisco.
Yeah, we don't talk about Pete Prisco. He's not all that.
We actually do talk about him a lot.
Well, we don't talk about him in the sense that we don't care what he does. We just hate on him.
True. In Cardinals news, apparently Kyler Murray is out for the season. Apparently that mysterious foot injury that he suffered against the Titans, it really is that bad. Which doesn't make much sense when you look at all the footage of him practicing perfectly fine over the past couple months. But apparently it's too bad. He's not coming off IR. So I think it's safe to say that Kyler Murray's career as a Cardinal is over. Very sad, obviously. First off, I think the fact that his Cardinals career ends with that Titans game is straight up disrespectful to his legacy as a Cardinal because he's done a lot of incredible things for the team, for the state of Arizona. It just didn't work out in the end. I'm going to blame bad coaching because we have really bad coaching right now, specifically on the offense. And I think he needs to go somewhere else to fully prosper because he isn't just a wildly physically talented athlete who could very well have an MVP season, which he will on the Raiders next year. So yeah, very sad, very, very sad that that's how his time as a Cardinal ends. But when he's a Raider next year, he will come back to State Farm, so that'll be pretty fun, and we look forward to that. Meanwhile, here's a name most people probably didn't know until the last month or so. Cardinals receiver Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson, man. Let me tell you, we drafted this guy 2 years ago. Probably the best draft prospect to come out of Stanford ever. His draft stock got lowered a little bit because of some injury concerns. But we picked him up. I remember when we first drafted this guy, I was texting Alex and Ian, and I was like, guys, this dude, he could be one of the greatest receivers we've seen in a long time. I picked him up on fantasy in like the 4th or 5th round. I really thought this guy was going to be the sauce, okay? He wasn't, right? He didn't do that much. He's a wide receiver 2 on the Cardinals. Like, come on. He didn't do that much. He showed a lot of promise. Last year, I know on the top 100 catches of the season video, the NFL posted, he had like 3 or 4 of the top 100 catches. Like he's really good at making those catches. So more promise there. But this year, Marvin Harrison Jr. has been dealing with a lot of injury, right? Marv has only played in 1 of our last 4 games, which means for the other 3, Michael Wilson has been our wide receiver 1, okay? And in that time, he has been targeted 49 times for 36 catches and 445 yards. Over those 4 weeks, he was the wide receiver 1 in fantasy for PPR. Honestly, I think this raises a lot of questions about Marvin Harrison Jr., about our offensive coordinator, about Kyler Murray. It brings up a lot of questions. I'm not going to get into all of them today. Just wanted to shout out Michael Wilson for being my dog. I always believed in you. Ignore that one time where I said I was just straight up wrong. Since I was wrong, you've proved me wrong again. I seriously much love to Michael Wilson.
Carson, you know what they say. 2 wrongs make a right.
2 wrongs make a right, bro. So shout out Michael Wilson. You are a dog. Who wants to take this one?
As I mentioned earlier, me and Carson both picked up one Phillip Rivers in our fantasy leagues. Now that's probably interesting. A lot of people, why are we picking up Phillip Rivers? Well, Daniel Jones, he was playing on a fractured fibula, and in this game against Jacksonville, he injured his Achilles on his opposite leg. So that's not good. He's out for this season, and so Riley Leonard played a couple snaps in Indianapolis, and then instead of relying on him, instead of turning to Anthony Richardson, who's still in IR, the Colts decided to get Phillip Rivers in for a workout. And it is looking very possible that he will start this upcoming week. So,
So, Riley Leonard, he played in this game and he got injured at the end. Okay, he played through the injury, right? Obviously Daniel Jones's backup is Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is of course out for the year, which means QB3 is Riley Leonard, right? Which means after putting Daniel Jones on IR, QB1 for the Colts, Riley Leonard. QB2, Tyler Warren, tight end picked in the first round, who was a high school quarterback, was the backup QB to Riley Leonard. So you turn to good old Phillip Rivers. This is peak, dude. I'm so excited.
If he puts up 20 fantasy points, I'll be happy. It's playoffs time, guys. It's playoffs time. I'm going to take a chance on the 44-year-old Phillip Rivers with 10 kids. He has grandchildren now, guys. He's a grandfather.
By the way, his oldest child is older than Riley Leonard. So this will be fun. Well, anyways, with that, we're going to jump very quickly into our Footballers Anonymous Power Rankings. For those of you who don't know how those work, every week, 3 of us order every team in the NFL from best to worst. We then use this thing called math and take the number values assigned to each team, okay, and make a collective list, kind of, averaging all of them out, right? Occasionally, though, we have ties. We do have a tie we'll talk about later. And if that happens, we discuss them and usually vote on which one takes the higher spot, either off the pod if it's not that important of a tie, or on the pod if it is. So like I said, we add that. Before we talk about the best 5 teams in the NFL, we got to talk about the bottom 3, the coveted baddies, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, we about to talk about some baddies. Coming in as our first baddie at number 30 in the power rankings, they almost escaped, is the Tennessee Titans.
Oh,
Almost escaped, but you had a good win this week
against the Browns.
Against the Browns, but I mean, it was a good week. Cam Ward looked good. Tony Pollard really good.
Cam Ward had that stiff arm that was tough.
That was so
he
tough.
had the defender on him and he slammed him into the ground. Like, that was all he said. Get down.
That was insanely. That was awesome. That's a first round pick. Stiff arm right there. Coming in as our second baddie at number 31. This one, it just keeps finding ways to get worse for this team. At 31, we have the Washington Commanders.
Ew.
Ooh.
They are on pace to just lose out, which is crazy.
Jaden Daniels finally returned from injury, and about halfway through getting shut out by the Vikings, he got hurt again. So Marcus Mariota will be playing again this week. And to make matters worse, Zach Ertz got really hurt, and his career is probably over, which is very sad.
That's so unfortunate. Like, because Washington was good last year, and they had some hope coming into this year, and it just didn't work out. It's unfortunate to see him go down with an injury like that. I really do hope he plays again, but I don't think he will.
I can't prove it, but it's all Cliff Kingsbury's fault.
Oh, I actually did kind of forget that Zach Ertz was a Cardinal.
Yeah, no, the Zach Ertz getting hurt is really sad. I really like Zach Ertz. You hate to see that. It's all Cliff's fault. All of this, everything bad that's happening, I can't explain it, but it's all Cliff's fault.
They're just falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
a cliff, you say?
But there is one team.
Why is that funny?
A cliff, you say?
There is one team that is already at the bottom of the cliff. The coveted Ultra Baddie. Ladies and gentlemen, a position long held by the Tennessee Titans. But there's a shakeup this week as we have a new baddie led by none other than Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett. It is the Las Vegas Raiders.
They're winning next week. Heard it here first.
We get a Super Bowl QB matchup next week, guys. Super Bowl champion matchup.
They were once best pals, running the Eagles to the Super Bowl, taking them together. And now they have to face each other in the biggest game of the year.
The storyline.
Honestly, this should be game of the week. Just this one. We don't need
Only
two
this
one.
one.
There's this.
I agree. And we're all taking obviously. But
Obviously, it's the only right option.
yeah.
Okay, Carson, I know rankings come before conspiracies, but this ties to this, so I want to do this one first.
Sure.
The Eagles, speaking of the Eagles, they've been, not a great season for them in the last couple weeks. Good season, but not great. They got fans booing at their games. But what you failed to realize is that it is an odd NFL season in an even Super Bowl year.
Whoa.
This is a collapse year. 2 years ago, they had the same thing happen where they started 10-1 and collapsed and had the wild card. And this also segues into my next point with this conspiracy and why this is happening is because of the NFC East division thing, where not one team can win back-to-back years. They have to collapse. They have to. For that streak to keep going, they have to collapse every other year, which is why they're collapsing, and they're going to let the Cowboys win the division.
Interesting. Huh. So by the way, since we're talking about the Eagles, can I just say how annoying it is to me how entitled Eagles fans are, especially like online. Like, do you know how crazy it is? In halftime on Black Friday against the Bears, booing your team off the field when you have 8 wins is diabolical. Diabolical.
After the Bears game, Eagles fans went and threw, I think, eggs at Patullo's house.
Like,
yeah,
I know Patullo's not a good OC, but like, again, booing your team off the field at halftime is crazy work when you have 8 wins.
All I'm saying is that Patullo did not throw 4 interceptions.
No, Patullo didn't throw those interceptions. You know who caused those interceptions? Sully, because of his aura. There's just nothing he can do. MVP, give it to James P. Sullivan right now.
Honestly, if the Chargers weren't so injured, James P. Sullivan would be leading them to the number 1 spot in our power rankings. But we still have to figure out who's in our number 1 spot. So let's start with the top 5.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in with our top 5. At number 5, we have they played an exciting game this week. It's the Green Bay Packers.
Back in the top 5. How are y'all feeling about it? Because I know I'm the only one that doesn't hate this team. I put them at 4.
I don't know. I'm feeling fine.
I'm still stuck on the fact that, like, again, this was just such an exciting game. I loved watching it. A lot of really good play from Jordan Love. I don't. Anyways,
I feel totally fine. I'm gonna take a moment here to talk about the NFC North as a whole. I'm feeling great. Obviously the Bears aren't in the top 5, but they were just out of it along with the Bills. It was Packers week. We lost 28-21. Caleb Williams threw a pick in the end zone with, I think it was like 10 seconds left on the clock. He just underthrew. We ran the same play we ran against Philly, and he just underthrew the ball. The Packers have looked decent the past couple of weeks. They've looked solid as a team, and I don't know what else to say. I mean, like, I don't know. The Bears will get their get back in 2 weeks. The Packers are in the top 5. Good for them. The Bears are right on their trail. So
I think it was so interesting that this whole game, Tom Brady, one of the things he kept emphasizing was how every time Caleb Williams rolls out of the pocket, one of the things he needs to be careful about is sometimes he's not putting the right amount of power into his throws when he's throwing on the run. And then that's what ended up sealing the game Like, I just thought I'd comment on it. It was really cool insight from Tom Brady. But I mean, I'm not concerned about the Bears. And the Packers, they're a good team right now. They're just a really well put together team, which is incredibly frustrating. But the division's still up for grabs for sure.
So this is like a very odd segue back to the Cleveland Browns for a second, because I forgot to mention this. And the Bears,
the Cleveland Browns.
The Bears play the Browns this week, so it's okay for me to mention this. But there are only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history that have had 364 yards passing in their 3rd NFL start. It's Tom Brady and Shadur Sanders.
The comparisons are insane, bro.
They both were number 12 as well.
Legendary.
Perfect timing. But yeah, the Packers.
No, hold on. Speaking of,
but the Browns.
No. Speaking of Tom Brady, at number 4 we have new Tom Brady in Drake May, and the Patriots.
Perfect.
Should be top 3.
I agree. I had them at 1. I had the Patriots at 1.
Yeah,
so
I put them at 3.
I don't think it's ridiculous.
They're about to be out of the top 5 after this week.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
I'm not gonna lie. Even
If they lose to the
lose to
only
the
good
Bills,
team
I
that
don't
they've
know if
beat
they
this
fall
year,
out of
their
the top
credibility
five.
is out the window.
Even if they do lose to the Bills, I don't know if they fall out of the top 5.
No, they still don't for sure.
They haven't beat a single good team besides the Bills. And if they lose to that team, then what's the point? They'll be out the window and
No, they're
slammed against the wall.
Unfortunately for the Patriots, though, Will Campbell has been placed on IR. That is a big hit to their team, but they're still going to make a good playoff push.
Yeah, Will Campbell
The
is
past couple weeks, you've missed basically nothing from the Patriots as they beat up on the New York Giants. Ooh.
Travion
And they
Henderson
beat the
legacy
Bengals
game.
before Burrow came back, because of course they couldn't put Burrow in that game. They had to put him in the game after. And they almost lost that game too. They honestly should have lost that game.
You want to talk about? Let's talk about the. Actually, I'm gonna hold that just right now, Alex. Remember what you're saying right now. I am putting a bookmark here. In a couple spots, I'm going to be coming back to this bookmark. Okay, remember this bookmark. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Okay.
All right.
At number 3, we have the Seattle Seahawks.
What? Anyway.
I agree, actually. Well, not really. Seahawks.
Denver's top 2?
Yeah, Alex put them at 1.
I know he did.
Carson put him at 2.
Whatever. Seattle, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever.
I see nothing wrong with this list.
I do, and I'm gonna.
Clearly you do because you don't think the Patriots should be in the top 4. All you did was complain.
I said they won't be after this week. I'm just waiting for it.
There's not much to say about the Seahawks. They
I
played
could
a really
say
good
so
game.
much.
Played a really
I could
good
say so much.
Go ahead then. Why am I even talking?
We're already short on time, so that's why I'm not.
Okay, well then. Okay, cool. Then I will say stuff about
I
the
love
Seahawks.
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Am I gonna say stuff about the Seahawks or not?
Go ahead, Carson. Take the
Thank you.
floor.
I was
It's
just
your
gonna
favorite
say,
team.
I love.
Carson is now when you want to mention that bookmark because the Seahawks have done nothing in terms of beating the Titans, Vikings, and Falcons the past 3 weeks.
I was about to say that they played some of the most dominant defense I've seen in the league the past couple of weeks. The Seahawks' incredible defense, and sure, yeah, it was not the Vikings. Well, yeah, but that's still incredible play.
Dude,
against NFL teams.
Alex, the Broncos beat the Raiders and the Commanders. They beat the Raiders in the past 4 weeks.
They beat the Marcus Mariota Commanders in overtime.
By one possession. Twice.
The
Baddies. And then they beat the Broncos in overtime, and the Commanders in overtime with Marcus Mariota at the helm. What are you talking about these bad teams? What are you talking about? But the Broncos won. What are you talking about?
The Broncos have a higher winning percentage by
They should have beat these three teams. The Raiders and the Commanders. Like, what are you on about?
The Broncos
makes no sense.
this
It makes
season,
no sense at all.
The Broncos this season, by a decently high margin, have a higher winning percentage than have a higher percent. Like their wins, the teams that they win against have a higher winning percentage than both the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Okay.
But you talk about only the bad teams.
You're only talking about the past 3 weeks. You wanted to mention the past 3 weeks. With the Patriots, you're like, oh, by the way, they beat the Giants and they beat this team and this team. The Bengals, because of course they can't put Carson.
I didn't even bring up the Seahawks.
The Broncos, they played the Raiders twice in 4 weeks.
I was just saying that the Patriots haven't done anything.
I could find 10 points.
You do realize that Carson's the one that said put a bookmark on it. So it's like, oh, let me mention it for the Seahawks because they haven't done anything either.
No, my book.
I wasn't gonna mention it for the Seahawks until Carson.
Alex, my bookmark was that I was gonna. My bookmark was gonna be how you're all like, they beat nobody. My bookmark is that okay? The Broncos went to overtime with the 31 Commanders, and you have the audacity to put them at 1 at home on prime time.
Still won. Okay, and so did the Seahawks and the Patriots.
They will totally.
Oh my God! You are insane.
They were getting cooked by the Commanders
losing to the Falcons. The Patriots almost lost to the Bengals. The Patriots almost lost to the Saints. The Patriots didn't beat the Raiders. The Patriots almost lost to the Dolphins.
This
and
guy.
The Bills lost to the Falcons.
We did lose the Falcons. I'm not putting the Bills at 1.
The Broncos.
I never said anything about the Bills. About the Broncos. The Broncos have beat the Texans. The Broncos have beat the Eagles. The Broncos have beat the Cowboys. The Broncos.
Oh my God, that's so impressive. Like, yeah, the Matt Eberflus-led Cowboys defense. That's so
And
impressive.
they held the Cowboys offense to 24 that has been lighting fireworks across the sky.
Not in
And they beat the
October.
Chiefs. They beat
Oh
the
my God, yeah, the super impressive 2025 Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh.
The super impressive Kansas City
the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Ooh.
The Chiefs
Let's go
win is
ahead
more
and throw
impressive than all the
Jacksonville at
Patriots
one, I
wins and the
guess.
Bills.
Let's put
They beat the
Jacksonville
Bills
at
in the
one.
Bucks.
The Bucks game is not impressive.
That was so impressive. They played incredibly. The offense looked beautiful. The defense
Alex,
looked
you are
beautiful.
insane. You are so
The Bucks
insane. You are
wins
so
are
insane.
not even good.
The Alex
the
Joseph bias
Bucks.
in this argument is insane. Not only is there Patriots hate, there's also the Broncos glaze. The bias here is actually insane. Which, by
This
the way,
is
the
ridiculous.
Patriots not being in the top 3 is purely because of Alex, not even having them in the top 5.
No, they were in the top 5. They were 5th.
Jen.
The Packers beat the Bears this week. I wanted to push them up for that. The Packers have been playing very good football the past couple weeks.
Okay, but not better than the Patriots.
The past couple weeks, yes.
Why are we
That's
talking about the
the
past?
Eagles.
You can't say, "Ooh, the past couple weeks" when you keep bringing up a week
They
1
dominate the
loss to the
Lions, and then they
Raiders.
beat the
You can't.
Patriots.
You can't say. You
Patriots
cannot
played-
say.
the Patriots
Oh, they did
played
this in
such
week
a
1. and
physical
then
game
say,
against the Giants. It was
The
beautiful.
last 2 games the
Patriots
Packers have
played
played
so
have been
physical.
more impressive than anything the
Physical.
Patriots have played this season.
That's just not true.
The Patriots
They dominated the
were playing
Lions and beat the
retro
Bears.
football this week, and it was beautiful. The Patriots were playing such retro football, and they were playing super physical this week against the Giants, and it was beautiful to see.
Last week, and also
Never it was.
it's the Giants.
Okay,
The
so
2 and
we have to
11
discredit them
I'm not
for
talking about the
playing
team.
their
I'm talking about the
schedule.
way they played. I'm talking about the way they played.
I thought the Packers played better, and they also played against a good team. Past
Alex,
2 weeks, they've
you
played against good teams.
sound just like a college football fan, where strength of schedule actually matters. These are NFL teams. They're incredible athletes. Patriots, we've seen teams play far worse against the Giants. No, these are the same Giants that beat the Eagles, right? They're still a physical,
In week
dominant team, and the Patriots put on a clinic, a masterclass.
They also, the week before that, barely scraped by the Bengals before Joe Burrow came back.
That's the same Bengals that went toe-to-toe with the Bears.
Broncos beat the Raiders twice by a combined 10 points, which is exactly what they
Raiders
put up.
lost.
Barely
The Raiders
scraped by.
lost.
Oh, and now
Raiders
Alex
beat
is
the
gonna say, "Oh, they still won." Like your argument
Raiders
keeps
beat the
changing
Patriots.
every time.
The Raiders beat the Patriots.
Yeah, all right. So
How about
your
Fire?
argument is completely invalid. As you would say, you are moving the goalposts repeatedly. The Broncos
The
are
Patriots
not the
only
best
scored
team.
26.
By the way, I just want to say the
Patriots
team.
have a
I just want to say,
110 point
hold on.
differential, and the Broncos
I-
only have a
I
73
need to
match
I
play.
need to specify this because we haven't even talked about them. We haven't even talked about them once. The Broncos are tied this week for 1 with the Rams, which, by the way, none of us put the Rams at 1. It is purely because of Alex's scuffed top 5. The reason the Rams are the only team competing this week with the freaking Broncos is because we all kind of consensusly put the Rams at 2 to 3, and then Alex did some weird stuff with the Patriots and the Broncos to get us here. So the Rams are the best team in the league now, I guess. They're a great team.
The Rams are 2. I'm fine with the Rams being 1. I mean, I think the Broncos are a better team, but like it's
Oh my
neck and
God.
that's 1A, 1B for me.
The Rams have a more than double point differential over the Broncos,
Okay.
by the way. Broncos are
It's easily
9th.
Rams.
Broncos are 9th
the
in point
only-
differential. Broncos are 9th. The 3 teams we're talking about right now, Seahawks, Rams, and Patriots, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. The Patriots. Wait. Okay.
The Texans have a better point differential than the Broncos.
The Texans are a good team, and the Broncos beat the Texans. I put the Texans at 6. Sorry.
I'm just making an observation.
Okay.
The 8 and 5 Texans have a better point for differential than the 11 and 2 Broncos.
It's not that far fetched to say. The Texans have a mostly.
Well, it's not far-fetched to say because it's a true fact.
Yeah, the Texans have had close losses, and they're also better than their record by a substantial margin. Their defense.
Oh, I completely agree. And then the Broncos are worse than their record by a substantial margin.
That's
Absolutely.
not true at all.
That is
You
100%.
can't say that about the Broncos and not say that about the Patriots. It's just not.
No, because the Patriots are. Oh my God, you
The
are.
Patriots are looking incredible
It's the
in
same
everything
thing.
they do.
They're like the
The
same.
Broncos
They're like the
look
same.
terrible. The Broncos look horrible and then come out with a win. Are you really gonna look at that Raider? The
You
Patriots
really,
looked.
you really
The
want to, you
Patriots
really want to
looked
look at the
better.
two Giants games. You want to look at both the Giants games, but then say nothing about the Broncos having to come back in the fourth quarter and barely win that game.
Yeah, but they also played like incredible football in that fourth quarter. Also, that was a
Oh my God! And the Patriots played incredible football for 4 quarters. They didn't need one; they had all four.
they played incredible for 4 quarters against one of the draft lottery teams that they played against. Some of the draft lottery teams they only played good for like 2 quarters.
You know who else played
I
great
I can't tell if I'm
You know who
looking
else
at
played-
their schedule,
you know
the
who else
draft
played great
lottery.
football for
Only
one
the
quarter?
150
JJ
point
McCarthy. You know who else played great football for one quarter? JJ McCarthy. Like, come on, dude. It doesn't take a
The
complete team
Broncos
to put
played
together
good for
one
four
good
quarters
quarter
in
of
other
football.
games. Like,
It takes a
like that.
complete team to play dominantly for 4 quarters,
Every
and that's
single
what the
Broncos
Patriots have
game,
done every week.
dude. Every Broncos game but one has been decided, but one has been decided by one score.
The Raiders
Two.
game was not a one-score game. They kicked a field goal with like 3 seconds left.
That makes it a one-score game. That makes it a one-score game.
Okay, and if the this is ridiculous.
That's a one-score game.
ridiculous.
That's in the box.
This is ridiculous. You
Doesn't
are
mean it was
ridiculous.
close. It wasn't close. Oh my God! It ended at one score. It's like saying that
They
the
also
Lions
switched
Bills game
quarterbacks
last year was
halfway
close when
through.
the Bills were up like 42 to 20 to like 21 at one point in that game and ended 48-42. Like that was not a close game, even though it was a one-score game at the end.
The Patriots have. I'm gonna say it here. The Patriots looked better in their loss to the Raiders than especially that Thursday night game for the Broncos. That Thursday night, you're really gonna tell me that Thursday night Raiders game looked better
Dude,
than the
you,
Patriots?
Alex,
lost to the
you
Raiders?
love to preach. Alex, you love to preach how weeks 1 and 2 don't really matter. You've made that point so many
I
times.
was waiting
And
for
now you
you
want
to
to
say
sit here
that.
and you want to hold the Patriots week 1 loss to the Raiders against them. 14 weeks later, you want to hold that week 1 loss.
I was waiting for you to notice that because I was kind of baiting that the entire time.
Ridiculous.
You do this
You're
every
so
time,
fucking
dude.
ridiculous.
That's why I kept bringing up the Raiders. I was like, I wonder when they're gonna notice that I'm doing this.
Oh, we do.
I
I
don't
noticed
care
it from
about
the
the Raiders
beginning.
game week one, but
God, the Broncos are going to lose out. I pray to God the Raiders or the Broncos lose out.
It would not surprise me.
the Patriots are gonna lose 3 of the last 4 and lose the division.
Well, they're not.
That's
I have way more faith. Oh my God, what are you talking about? 3?
Yeah, they're gonna lose to the Bills. They're gonna lose to the Ravens, and they're gonna lose to the Dolphins
No,
because
they're
the
not.
Dolphins are on a hot streak.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they
Dolphins
are.
are on a hot streak.
No, they're not.
They are on a hot streak.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And you want to shun the Seahawks for having 2 very dominant wins.
I don't care about the Seahawks. I was just talking about because Carson brought them up. I'm still holding like most of my waiting for the Seahawks to pull them up is because of that Rams performance and Sam Darnold. I just want to I want to make that clear. Like that still kind of lives in my mind. Like
Oh,
that was
but
not a good.
But the Thursday night Bo Nix game against the Raiders, that doesn't hold any weight in your mind?
No.
Okay. That is all I need to know.
Yeah, can we make an
holding on to a
executive decision
game.
to bump the Broncos down, please?
No.
I would be very okay with this. I think
I mean, Alex, you're outvoted.
Okay, but we also had to do a 3-0 last time we did an executive decision. We're not doing an executive decision when you already made your votes.
no, I'm perfectly okay with the Broncos sitting at 2, and they are going to fall so far. And now that I know this is what Alex is going to do, I'm going to be taking this heavily into account.
What am I gonna do?
Holy. Anyways, going through all of them, shout out the Rams, by the way. Shout out the Rams for being a great football team. Very deserving of a number 1 spot. Absolutely incredible. Matt Stafford still looks great. I don't even want to talk about this game, so I'm okay with it. Going through the power rankings, we have at 32 the Raiders, 31 the Commanders, 30 the Titans, 29 the Giants, 28 the Cardinals, 27 the Jets, 26 the Saints, 25 the Falcons, 24 the Browns, 23 the Vikings, 22 the Dolphins, 21 the Ravens, 20 the Chiefs, 19 the Bucks, 18 the Cowboys, 17 the Steelers, 16 the Bengals, 15 the Colts with Phillip Rivers, 14 the Eagles, 13 the Panthers, 12 James P. Sullivan and the Chargers, 11 the 49ers, 10 the Jaguars, 9 the Lions, 8 the Bears, 7 the Texans, 6 the Bills, 5 the Packers, 4 the Patriots, 3 the Seahawks, and 1 the Rams. Okay,
Do the Broncos.
now, Ian, do you want to... Actually, I guess we got to go through Conspiracy of the Week. Alex, you want to do that?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to. How did the Lions get to 9th? Where did I put the lines, actually? I might have put them higher than I thought I did. But I don't think I put them.
Ian
I
put
put them
them
at
at
10.
10. I put them at
Okay.
I don't even
Oh,
know.
I put them at 12.
Carson
Yeah,
put them
no.
9.
that's a little high. That's okay.
It's but I wanted it was mostly because I was lowering some other teams.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'm bringing a couple conspiracies because we've missed a couple weeks. This is kind of just a rehash. This one is like more of a rehash of something that we predicted at the beginning of the season. The tie of doom and despair, which we said would be the Colts and the Chiefs, almost ended in a tie. It went to overtime and it got through 2 possessions.
Oh,
And then a big throw running catch happened for the Chiefs, and then they ended up being able to kick the field goal. But the fact that game went to overtime is really funny because for the entire offseason, we were saying that game was the tie of doom and despair. We were almost right.
we were almost right.
An update on the Steelers. They still have not. They still have only gotten. I've still only gotten one Steelers game correct. Like it's still going. I
Shout
picked
out.
the Steelers against the Bears. I even picked the Steelers against the Bills because I pick the Bills every week. I did it for the plot and it worked. And then I picked the Ravens this week and it worked. So I'm picking the Dolphins this upcoming week. So now for the other conspiracies. So shutouts this season have been very interesting. There have been 4 shutouts. 2 of them have been 26-0. That was the Texans over the Titans and the Seahawks over the Vikings. And then there's 2 that have been 31-0, being the Chiefs over the Raiders and the Vikings over the Commanders. 2 shutouts with the same score for 4 shutouts, and they have the same 2 scores. So going forward, any other shutout this season will be 26-0 or 31-0.
That's a very random conspiracy, but okay.
It is. It's very interesting. The Patriots in 2024.
Oh no.
They finished 4-13.
Correct.
So this year they're flipping it around and they'll finish 13-4 and lose the division because they'll
Lose
to
the division at 13-4. They're going to lose the division at 13.
If they lose to the Bills and one of their divisional games, they lose the division as long as the Bills
And the
win out.
Bills win out, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be immediately stopped this week.
No, it won't.
I think, yeah, the Patriots will clear the division.
Furthermore, Josh Allen. I am gonna have to double check this, but Josh Allen has not been swept by a division. That's not true. That he got
Oh
swept.
yeah, because he's had a lot of real competent divisional opponents now, hasn't he?
Yeah, true.
You know, Alex, if you were pissing me off so much right now, I would sit here and give you a conspiracy that because Patrick Mahomes won't play in the playoffs, the Bills will actually make the Super Bowl this year. But now you're pissing me off. That's not true anymore.
We're not making the playoffs.
No, you guys aren't. You guys aren't making the Super Bowl. Same difference.
We'll see what happens.
Ian, you know
I'm
what I
not
was just
banking
thinking?
on it.
And I was just thinking though, imagine hypothetically, the Bills do.
The Chiefs sneak in.
No, I was gonna say the Bills do manage to get the division. Or actually, no, they don't even need to get the division. Let's say the Broncos have the 1 seed and the Bills sneak in at number 7, right? And then the Broncos stomp them.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, but they're the best team in
Oh,
the
it's
league.
not-
I thought.
it's not
I thought they're the best
But
team in the league.
Broncos
I
are-
like
yeah, the Broncos are just the
No,
best
you want to
team.
know? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's not gonna happen because we're not gonna get the 7 seed.
Yeah. Okay, pal.
Well, if they're the best team in the league, then they're winning.
So,
They're
so,
going
so
to
if
the
they
Super Bowl,
manage
right?
to, if they manage
Which
to meet
means
in the
that
playoffs,
you
the
would
Bills are
have
winning
to
that
lose
game.
to them in the playoffs, correct?
In the conference championship, when we're 1 versus 2.
Okay. Anyways, Ian, Alex, do you want to take us through
Also,
quick
the
Pickers
best team in
update?
football loses early in the playoffs all the time. Do you want to talk about the 2019 Ravens?
Yeah, but we don't select them as the first team.
What about
thinking
the
they're gonna-
2020 Packers?
The whole point is you pick the best team because you believe they're the best team. By picking the Broncos as number 1, you are saying that you believe that they are better than everyone below them and could win
I
a game
believe that
against
they
every
are the
single
best
one.
team in the league. That does not mean they're the most experienced team in the league. And them being
What does
less
that even mean?
experienced means that there's
Okay,
no.
just take us
What
through the
does that
Pick'ems
even
update.
mean?
Just take them through.
Oh no, playoff
Just take
experience
us through the
matters
Pick'ems
in the
update.
playoffs.
Just take us through the Pick'ems update.
All right, hang on.
And
I actually haven't checked that.
please
Sorry.
really highlight the fact that I got 4 games right this week.
Yeah. So Carson got four games right, which is
A historically bad performance.
insane. We're gonna go through all the games, but first we gotta talk about the pick'ems. Lordy, why am I so far Did I miss a week? No, did not. I'm just bad. Cam Bam's first 137 and 70. Second place is RT Remco's 134 and 73. Signed FBA table is 133 and 72. The Bearsaholic is 127 and 79. The Billsaholics 124 and 83. Clearly Ian missed a game somewhere.
I'm
I
sorry.
missed
I'm
Thursday
sorry.
night last week.
Okay.
I have to pause real quick. I gave myself too much credit. I got 3 games right last week.
You got 3 games right left.
I've had a
Carson's sitting
couple.
at 106
Okay,
and
I will
90.
say though, one of them was my weekly sacrificial Chiefs pick, but otherwise, still.
Yeah, but that game could have gone either way too. Buffalo Bill picks has not picked in the last 3 weeks, but he's sitting at 103 and 58, and then Footballers Anonymous is at 86 and 47. We've had a few people stop picking, but this was a very bad week for picks. Even Cam Bam only had 70 points.
Shout out ESPN fans 69-237-47340 for joining in week 8, knowing 9-4, and then just never picking again.
Shout out for
ESPN.
Dude, looking through my picks, none of these are even that crazy. Like, a couple of them are stretches, but, like, none of these are like, why did I do that? It just sucked. It was just a sucky week.
Okay, wait, can I do myself a favor and just tab we need to change my record onto every Steelers game we have to just not
Well, but
after I started the conspiracy, every Steelers game we have to flip the result of for my record. Because I'm trying to pick to lose.
Oh, I mean, but I've been doing the same thing for the
We can do the
conspiracy
same.
with
We can do it for the
with
Chiefs
the
too. We can do it for the
Chiefs.
Chiefs too.
So I think we gotta rock with it at this point. You are making the sacrifice
It's fair.
for humanity, which we
Don't tell
appreciate.
Charlie that I'm responsible for the Ravens losing.
Yeah, I'll do you a favor and not. Okay. Ian, do you want to go ahead and take us through our 3 games of the week?
Oh, I'd love to.
Oh boy.
All right.
We are starting off
First
swinging.
off, we have the Buffalo Bills going into New England to take on the Patriots. I'm taking the Patriots.
Taking the
Easy.
Patriots.
Right.
Easy. This will be Sunday, December 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, easily taking the Patriots here to secure the division.
Ignoring the beef that is clearly here. I mean, the Patriots came into Buffalo in prime time and secured a win a few weeks ago. Now they're at home, and I mean, obviously Gillette Stadium's been rocking recently. Patriots fans are very hyped, very excited. It's a rowdy environment. The Bills are a great team, but the Patriots are really playing to secure the division. I see them sweeping it.
Beef aside, I was taking the Patriots before tonight anyway.
Yeah, no, I was.
I've already made all my picks for the week, and I had the Patriots. Now I'm just adding more to it.
Here's why we lost last time. The Bills love to play down to competition. We didn't realize that the Patriots were a good team. But Josh Allen.
So the Bills are bad at game planning for teams. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a great case in them being a better team.
That's not what I said.
That is a great case. That is a great case.
That's okay. No, actually, what I was going to say is that Josh Allen plays his best football against the best teams. Going into the game, take how the atmosphere surrounding around the Ravens game. You could talk about the Chiefs game. You could talk about the Bucks game. These are all the games where Josh Allen went absolutely crazy.
The Bucks aren't a good team, so we can't really talk about them.
Yeah. The Bucks win doesn't count for the Patriots, so it doesn't count for the Bills either.
Played a very good game against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Also, quarterbacks. Sorry. The original thing was best quarterbacks. I should have said that to begin.
See the goalpost.
He does play very good football against very good quarterbacks. It's like a weird thing.
He doesn't. He's not on the field.
You're
at the
hearing
same...
it too, right, Ian? You're hearing it too.
Yeah. Anyway, continue, Alex. Sorry.
I'll shut up.
Sorry. Okay. Do you need me to clarify?
No. Go ahead.
No,
sorry.
no,
Sorry.
no,
This is. Go ahead.
Does it not make sense to you what I'm saying?
Oh,
No, go
it
ahead.
makes a lot of sense.
Right. He plays good football when another quarterback is on the opposite side of the field. Okay. Does that help? Does that clarify things for you?
What? So he plays good football when there's a quarterback playing safety? What?
No, Carson.
I know. No, I
Come on. Don't.
Go ahead, Al.
You know what I'm talking about.
I understand what you're talking about.
We're not getting swept by the Patriots. We're taking this game. We can move on to the next game that apparently has beef.
It doesn't even have beef. I still pick this team.
Oh, I didn't make my pick.
I
Don't
think
force my pick.
that's your pick.
Our next game is going to be the Green Bay Packers going into Denver, the Mile High City, to take on the Broncos. Sunday, December 14th at 4:25 Eastern Time. I'm actually taking the Broncos in this one,
Okay.
Alex, because I think the Broncos are better than the Packers, and I want the Packers to lose.
Okay. That's
I
good. I'm glad to see it.
I really want the Packers to lose, but I'm going to take them here. This is a very interesting one. I know both these teams have some pretty good defenses. Honestly, I hate to say it, but Jordan Love has been playing really good football. Also, I think the big thing that this team has that Denver does not is a run game, and I think that's going to be the killer.
Well,
I
RJ
genuinely
Harvey had a really good game
he I
against the
mean
Rams.
yes, but it's not a really
The one bright
established run
spot.
game. It's not really an established run game. RJ Harvey has looked good for them though, which I do quite like. I think though the Packers win this one.
I,
But it'll be a
I
close.
see this game going either way. I wouldn't be surprised with when either team wins. I think they're both overrated. I think they both are capable of losing this game, but I just wanted the Packers to lose more than I want the Broncos to lose. And lastly, we have the Philip Rivers-led Indianapolis Colts going into Seattle to take on the Seahawks Sunday, December 14th at 4:25 Eastern Time. I'm taking the Seahawks. I think this is the best team in the league. I think as much as I would love the Philip Rivers story to work out and I want him to perform well so I can start him in fantasy, I think the Seahawks defense is going to murder this man in game one. Yeah.
I will also be taking Seahawks.
Carson really wants to take the Philip, and he's going to take the Philip Rivers storyline.
I'm gonna take the
I could
Phillip
tell in his
Rivers
eyes he really
storyline.
wanted to do it.
You know I'm a big Phillip Rivers fan, bro. I love him. It's a great guy. He's just goofy, and honestly, I don't think this Seahawks defense is ready for the Phillip Rivers trash talk. I think that could really rattle them.
You think he still has it after not playing for 5 years?
I think he might. I think
You think he practices on his kids?
yes, he definitely did. I believe in the Phillip Rivers story. I believe.
I can envision Philip Rivers rallying up his 10 children, going to a football field and doing a 5-on-5 where he's all-time quarterback. And just the whole time he's just ripping on his children, just calling them names, like trucking them,
Just for the
stiff
record,
arming them
I'm
all.
totally switching it right now.
Oh my gosh.
um, yeah, should be fun. Anyways, moving to our college games of the week. Obviously, there's a couple bowl games this week, but nothing game of the week worthy in the FBS. But stay tuned again on our socials because our postseason predictions will drop this week. But we have FCS playoffs this week. So we're gonna go ahead and predict those 4 games. So up first we've got number 7 SFA at number 2 Montana State on Friday night, December 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern. I am taking Montana State.
Me too, with my extensive FBS knowledge or FCS knowledge that I've gained. I'm taking Montana State.
Give me SFA because there's an A at the end.
Does anyone even know what SFA is?
Southern freaking Alabama.
Stephen F. Austin State University, apparently.
Oh,
The
I actually do know them.
Lumberjacks.
I
The
actually do know them.
Lumberjacks. Ooh.
I do
Oh,
know them.
hold on. Ooh, never mind. I gotta switch. I didn't know they were the Lumberjacks. That's low-key tough. Low-key tough. I gotta give it to SFA. Up next, on Saturday, December 13th, we've got number 12, Villanova at number 4, Tarleton State. And I'm gonna take Tarleton.
I am also taking Tarleton. Villanova is coming off a pretty good win, upsetting number 5 Lehigh, but Tarleton has been very explosive offensively, so I have to take them.
I'll take Tarleton.
Up next, we have number 11, South Dakota, taking on number 3, Montana.
This is a very interesting one.
I'm taking South Dakota because they have that championship DNA.
Now, both of these teams are coming off very big wins
Yeah, I was
in
just
both
thinking
rounds.
that.
First round, they both put up almost 40, but outscored their opponents. What's this math? 79-20. In the second round, they outscored their opponents 97-29. Montana beat South Dakota State. However, I'm going to be taking South Dakota because they beat Mercer, who was a 6 seed, 47-0. They put up a shutout. I think they will take the upset, considering the numbers. I like Montana. I do. I think South Dakota is going to be dangerous.
I agree. I think South Dakota has more of a resume here. Really just looking at both of these are some dominant teams, but yeah, I like South Dakota. And lastly, of course, we have the unranked Illinois State Redbirds taking on number 8 UC Davis on Sunday, December 13th at 5 p.m. Eastern. I don't think it needs to be said, bro.
Illinois State.
In the slightest, Illinois State is going to take it. Now, for the record, last year in the second round of the FCS playoffs, Illinois State was ranked number 12, and they went in and they faced the number 5 ranked UC Davis and lost 42-10. So this is a get back year. This is the unranked Illinois State get back year on UC Davis. After beating North Dakota State, the upset of the century, Illinois State's going all the way. You heard it here first.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here. Footballers Anonymous says Illinois State is going all the way. But with that, it does bring us to an end of the college games of the week and an end of our show. I'd like to once again thank all of you.
The beginning of a 2-hour video for Carson to edit.
Woohoo! You mean our interns and our media
interns. The FBA editing crew.
The FBA editing crew. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you all for joining us this week. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for following us on Instagram if you haven't already. Thank you for following us on TikTok. We are 2 followers away. 2 followers away from that 100. I mean, Christmas is coming up soon, so and we're not even starting this Christmas album or whatever until we hit that 100. So, gotta get this done before Christmas, guys. So,
Get her done.
If you know anyone on TikTok, send us over. Tell them
Just
to
make some
follow
new
us.
accounts.
Make some new accounts, guys. You did it to
New
our
accounts.
YouTube channel. We know you can do it to the TikTok. I mean, that's not true. We obviously all of you are real on YouTube. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, where of course we only post Minion memes. Maybe one day we'll post another one if enough of you guys follow the Facebook. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
We hope your ease of listening was as easy as the Patriots' schedule.
Don't even.
We hope your ease of listening was as easy as Notre Dame's schedule. With that,
That is true as well.
thank you, Footballer Nation. You know what to do, Footballer Nation. Let's ride.